My niggas gangin', boy watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. Yeah, me came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make a little move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switch your lanes in the block. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. My niggas gangin', boy watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. Yeah, me came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make a little move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switch your lanes in the block. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. Young nigga hopped out of Benz. Friends on my face, I can't see through the lens. Running the streets, steady stacking my ends. The heater gon' haters away like the wind. Yeah, the G made a play in the east. A play on the west, made a play in the beat. Don't play with a G. You try to take some, them bullies gon' reach about playing with me. I'm not a rookie, little bitch, I'm a veteran. Feeling shit over this free for my medicine. Coming for with me, got dope for the cheap. I'm smoking, don't get it, be loud as your speaker. All of my niggas be hustling and robbing. Oh, and a nigga, I guess they be dodging. Money keep calling. All of these niggas, they claiming they got it, they really be flogging. Thought I had through to a nigga, went back in. Ain't never lacking, went through by the strap in. So off the block so that we get the pack in. I don't be rapping, I really be trapping. Rapping that stuff, I'ma let it be known. My nigga like to rip the gang on the zone. Free all my niggas that's till they come home. And when they come home, bitch, you know that it's on. My niggas gangin', boy watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. Yeah, me came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make a little move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switch your lanes in the block. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. My niggas gangin', boy watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. Yeah, me came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make a little move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switch your lanes in the block. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. My young niggas scared with them roof. You also for sure with them.
Yeah, baby. If you wonder who you just got through experiencing, Gang on the Block, available on all your streaming platforms, the good old City King Gank. And you got the Lil Phil 7-4. Oh, you know what that stands for. Speaking of Chicago, we got some people from Chicago in the building again. Valexi, he had to come back week after week because we liked that last episode. What's cooking, Valexi?
Everything's cooking, man. You can smell what Valexi's cooking.
Oh.
Yeah, big time.
Indeed.
Thank you for inviting me back once more.
Oh, yes.
It's amazing. It's always amazing to be here with friends.
There you go. How many of us love to have them? Once you can depend on friends every day.
That's all we know.
Yeah, that's all we need. So check me out here. I had before I I've got to make sure to introduce this properly. You're here with the Velvet Juggernaut, you know.
You know what's the motherfucking
you know you're here with Lynneopoly, and we got the air horns for it, like we always do.
It's a bad thing.
I agree with you twice. Like I feel like our cup should be running over.
Yeah.
It ran over.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home.
That concerns me. And then we've got here, as always, the Sawildchild.
Wild child.
At this point, like I feel like our cup is
It hasn't run enough.
It's on E when it should be on F.
Well, you know that we've got whiskey in the building, we've got root beer in the building, and the whiskey's got vanilla in it. If you smell what we're all cooking.
Well, for sure. Give me a brief moment.
Yeah, go ahead and you're actually gonna need it because we had a caller call in.
What? See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there.
We have a caller called in, and he wants to share a story with us. This story, I'll go ahead and tell you, is quite concerning.
I don't want to know.
I'll let you get your beverage. Pour your little
Shout
cup.
out Mario Winans.
I don't want to know.
Classic album. That album is full of things.
Oh, yeah. Mario Winans Get
Full of
Busy.
shorts, too. And that's like, why didn't he release anything after that? I don't think I released anything.
I think he had an issue with Bad Boy because he was signed with Bad Boy, and I think there's some issues over there.
That's sad.
And I want to say he converted back to gospel with the rest of his family too.
That's right. But that album, Hurt Me No More, man.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums ever.
I think R&B, maybe I'm a senior citizen, But that Jodeci album, the Hotel, what was it? The
Holiday Inn?
Not the Holiday Inn.
You wanna come to my hotel?
What you gonna do is me. But
R. Kelly.
Yeah, that was a flame.
That's another dude from Chicago that's making big mistakes.
Yeah, he's got some strange things going on out here.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Dude's got documentaries on him about
Yeah, they doing one on Lifetime, yeah.
I don't even want to speak.
But sometimes you just can't stop saying, it's something about your love that's got me going crazy. Don't you love me, baby? Don't you say your body need satisfaction guarantee?
This the remix edition.
Hey, the kitchen.
Mama rolling that body, got every.
What is this strange appearance? What is this look
You
on?
remind me of my
Woo!
Ah.
Hey, that might be the hardest song he ever did.
Bro.
Between You Remind Me of a Jeep and do you remember? Hey, Mr. DJ,
My favorite.
why don't you slow this party down?
Why are your eyes so
Slowing down.
That's where the singing's coming from.
Look like an emoji, a black emoji.
The ladies in here I am. Hey, then he say, and there's one that caught my eye.
He said, 7 o'clock in the morning and the rays from the sun wakes me. I'm stretching and yawning in a bed that don't belong to me.
Man.
Yo, I
Talk about
I love the trap in the club.
Only the first couple though, then he got crazy.
He got the midgets and stuff start.
That's enough.
It got crazy, but it didn't even matter. Like the creativity to it, like was like
He went to another place that
like it was a musical. Like you gotta love a musical.
he went to a whole nother place.
It was just crazy.
He's talking about braiding my hair in the song, yo. What song was that? Where he's talking about braiding my hair.
He made a song called Hair Braider. Hair Braider.
Nah, it wasn't that.
It
It
wasn't
was
that.
something where he says it right in the end.
I thought you was going where Mario went. Come on and braid my hair. Come on and braid. You remember Mario though?
Yeah, I remember
It was before
Mario.
you.
Yeah, I remember Mario.
You probably remember. If
Mario.
it was a man, baby, you never worry about what
Okay,
I-
so while we're on this, who's y'all's favorite R&B artist? Male R&B artist.
ever
And not a group or anything like that. Just a single person.
one.
Yeah. Male R&B.
I'm gonna say R. Kelly.
How current are we getting with this? And would Black count as
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Because honestly, he's probably one of my favorite artists right now. And I mean, if he's got that vibe music and he sings on it, and he used to be a battle rapper, which would explain why he's so lyrical.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him last year on
The
BET
Cypher. Yeah, buddy.
He did sing.
He rapped.
Yeah.
He was on the BET Cypher,
With my
and
song
that's when I
and
first heard.
When Eminem was on there last year.
I want to say I did see it,
He
but
was
I
in it.
can't recall it at the moment because I've been
Check that out. You're gonna be like, oh shit, he rapped.
No, he really can go, dog. He really can go. He was originally signed to Flow Rider, man.
Yeah,
And
I saw that on the pull up.
the
You saw the
last-
pull up series?
Yeah, the last track on the Free Black album. Because, dude, I never purchased any merchandise from artists. I got like 3 sweaters from old boys.
Oh, you fucking with him for real, for real.
I'm fucking with him for real. I put my little sister on him. She like 15.
Black get busy.
Yeah.
When soon as he dropped Problems and everything else that came with it, I'm like, okay, we rocking.
Man, for sure. Big facts, man.
Check
Shout
this.
out to
I think
Black, yo.
So like with his last album, like what would you rate it though? Like the last album?
Compared to Free Black?
No, not compared to nothing. Like just what would you rate it?
Scale of 1 to 5, scale
Yeah.
1 to 10.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
No, I'm gonna give you 10 because I'm gonna give you 10.
Need some
Being
range.
the greatest album I've ever heard in my life,
Yeah.
In life, son.
I'm gonna give it like a 7 or 8. To be honest, to be real, like and to me, 7 or 8 is very high. Like, cause the replayability, I can listen to every track over and over and over again. And I mean, it goes back to the single game. Like, I don't like a lot of the singles. I don't like throwing singles on the album, but I understand why you do it. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about the Yamaha. Like, I don't necessarily want to hear that again because I heard it like 50 times over.
Yeah.
Like, surprise me with your projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kanye released that 7-track track list, and I never heard anything on there. Everything was a complete surprise. It was a brand new story. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to Kanye. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, I don't really care about that. And that's what counts for me.
There you go.
His music got me through hard-ass times. And if you're a musician that can get me through hard-ass times and you're doing your job, I don't want to talk about hoes. I don't want to talk about money. I don't want to talk about any of that shit because I can't relate to that. I can't relate to having an 8-car garage and only put 6 in it. I can relate to, like...
Because it makes you wonder, what is the extra space for? What are you doing with it?
That's probably his sex room.
In there? What's going on?
I give you a couple.
I need answers.
That's the sex room. But we had a caller call in.
But real quick, like,
oh, go ahead.
I have one more question. So, how did you feel about 808s?
And Heartbreaks?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I thought it was fire.
So, what would you grade that?
Compared to as other albums?
No, out of one.
As it is.
Just it as itself.
They had like RoboCop on it.
Yeah, a lot of things. I know. Nightmares.
1 to 10 again?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna. Man, if you were gonna eat me alive, yo, I'm gonna give that a 7 or 8 too. I love those projects.
What?
Listening to a podcast. Now you are listening to the Pimp Gas. You thought you were listening to a podcast. Now you are listening to the Pimp Gas. You thought you were listening to a podcast. Now you are listening to the Pimp Gas. You thought you were listening to
You prefer an album that has a mix, like a variety of music, or you like that when an album can put you in a mood through the whole thing?
One vibe.
Like just one straight vibe, and it's just
That's
like you're
question.
there.
Because that's how I feel about Black's last album. It was like one vibe. It wasn't like crunk, then small, then...
I kind of like both, depending on my mood.
Yeah, it really depends on the vibe that you feel in that time, in that time frame, or that day, or whatever.
I feel odd about how people are doing their track orders now. Like, I've seen people put, like, a crunk song and a slow song go next.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah. And I'll be like, well, that's...
I disagree with you. Because of the simple fact that if it's like that, I kind of feel like I can do some things.
I like when a slow...
I feel like I can do some things. And it's one of those things to where it's like...
You would have sex to crunk music?
I sure would.
Would you have sex to Little John?
I would have sex to what?
Crunk juice?
What's the
most ratchet song you had sex to?
What is the song with the...
It's not made for sex, but you did that.
I got you right here.
Lies.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Nah.
Like how can you have sex with that?
I did it to
He was doing it to that's just my baby daddy.
Yeah. Who that is?
I
did it to sipping on some scissor one time. Sipping on some scissor.
I really had sex with it.
But it wasn't because I didn't put that on for that. It was just already on, and I didn't turn it off.
Like Savage Life.
Yeah, shout out to Lovers and Friends, though. Lovers and Friends.
Hey.
Oh, man, yeah.
Don't you take me there. Watch this. Speaking of intercourse, we had a gentleman that wanted to share what happens with his intercourse. He gave us a call on our hotline. And I would like you to hear this. I want you to hear it all the way through. Matter of fact, I'll just kill your mics so you can express yourself while this is happening. And once it's over, I want you to tell me your thoughts.
What up, VelvetVibez? Long time listener, first time caller. So I play the upright bass, jazz style. And often, whenever I take young women to bed, I will play the bass for them, you know, with no clothes on, them having no clothes on, you know, to just kind of set the mood right. And normally, how it goes, that you know, we either have sex and then I get up and play it, or I play it first and then, you know, I put it down, put it back up on its stand, and then we have sex. Well, this one time I was doing it for this girl who I didn't really know very well. We only, you know, hung out a couple times, and she was really into it. And anyway, she gets off the bed and starts sucking my dick while I'm playing. And so I stopped, and then she stopped, and she goes, "No, keep playing while I do it." And you know, as a jazz musician, there were some of the sloppiest notes because I was trying to focus, but she was all about sucking my dick while I played the upright bass. So yeah, you know, you try to do something kind of sweet and romantic, and the freak's always tainted, man. The freaks will always taint it. Anyway, word up, VelvetVibez, keep shining. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
I fucking love it.
Wow.
I fucking love it.
I need everyone's thoughts about.
I have thoughts and
I
no
have
concerns.
I-
But lots of thoughts.
I want to hear everyone's thoughts.
Who's going first? Like, don't look.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go last.
Yeah, go ahead.
I go first. Fuck it.
Okay.
All right,
You know, I don't give no shit.
Hey, go ahead.
First of all, I commend that motherfucker. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is hard.
This nigga was playing the bass.
To say
It
goodbye to
is
yesterday.
hard. It's really, really difficult
Very
to
cost.
concentrate on some bomb ass, fire ass, sloppy top, and then try to do something. Like, it's hard.
Exactly.
Like, so, you know, when people be like, yo, I was getting head while driving, for example.
I would never do that.
Boy,
I'm done. I'm done.
We'll say one. Say one.
We'll say once for the love of the game. But it's hard as fuck to like. Yo,
No pun intended.
I'm a big fucking fact. For real.
Big pun.
It's like it's hard to like, yeah, I'm gonna make this U-turn while you're sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, and then you gotta.
I'm gonna pass away on that.
Right, and you gotta concentrate and focus. But we already know your count in regards to like your week
Put-
pull out rate.
Look,
Like, so,
Oh,
like,
Lord.
yeah, so.
This is every episode we talk about.
I think there should be more honesty in the world. All kids are not planned,
Hey,
but we keep hearing this.
that's why I only got one.
What? Anyway, the
So,
call.
but anyway, long story short, I feel like that in regards to what he said, I agree with him that it's hard to do what she's asking for him to do.
She want him to play an
It's
instrument.
really that good.
So here's a good question based off of the call we heard. Can you hear? Just say. Can you do whatever you're doing and get head? Like, just say if you're playing a video game and she said, "Hey, I want to suck your dick. Keep playing Call of Duty." Can you do it, or would you be losing?
I wouldn't be.
Would you attempt to keep doing it? That's the
I
real
would.
question.
I would.
If-
I definitely would attempt to keep doing it.
If that's what she wants and that's what turns her on,
Yeah, big facts.
if that's what
You gonna keep
makes her
rocking?
get where she needs to go, then yes. Because at the end, but I would hope that I'll be playing, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes into it, and she's like, you know what? Fuck.
Yeah,
And I just
I've
be
had
like,
enough of the sucking.
Cool. Let's do it.
She wants to provide the service, the
Yeah.
full service.
I'm gonna go Call of Duty on that ass.
She ain't even gotta say that.
Sometimes it's not the Call of Duty; it's the Call of Booty.
Yeah.
She ain't even gotta
Okay.
say that. I'm already thinking that I'm gonna pause the game and get into that frame.
See, y'all be ruining a moment. Yeah, Wild Child, you ruining a moment.
No.
Sometimes they want you to keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So look, I'm not trying to ruin the moment.
You just can't focus on that game.
I know that my focus is definitely limited.
It's not on the game.
You gotta
I'm
pretend.
definitely.
You
Oh
gonna
no,
die
and
the whole time.
I'm all the way good for that.
If I get head while I'm driving, I'm gonna look at her and say, "Are you ready to give life up at this moment?" Or we can pull over, but we can give life up at this moment because me hitting the turnaround with that going on, you will hear something familiar.
Hey,
Finish him.
I'm gonna look at her and say no to you.
hey, just make sure that
Don't play no games. You want to take this risk? if you bite my dick off, yo, it's gonna be a problem. We all gonna die. I'm gonna purposely swerve into this wall if you use any teeth. You know what I'm saying? And you can pay for that shit too. I need that deductible.
You ever had a biter?
No, actually.
Yeah, I've had a biter before. Yeah.
Did you end that surface? Did you say?
Wait, hold on. Is she biting on my junk? Or is
Yeah.
She biting? Nah.
She was attempting to provide you dome, but she was biting it. So you were like, "Hey, let's focus on your other skills. Like, since this is not one of your skills, we want to focus on one of your more talented areas."
If it's uncomfortable, I'm stopping it. I don't really care if it's embarrassing or anything because it's only you and me in the room. If it's uncomfortable, I'm stopping it. I would just hope.
Would you embarrass her and say this is a department that you're not very skilled in?
I wouldn't say that because that might ruin the whole mood and then that might take away from the booty.
Because some people be like, your head is whack. Or I've heard women say that they tell a dude, you give whack dick, I'm out of here. Like they be very direct versus, oh, I've got a headache, I think I'm gonna just go to bed right now.
Yeah, but that ends the vibe.
Yeah.
Like I would hope look, I want to talk to you while I'm having sex with you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you ain't doing it right, then I'm gonna tell you, hey, can you stop doing that and do something else? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't need to end. I just need to stop hurting you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't bite my lip too hard because now you're making me bleed and I'm not trying to spread blood all in my mouth because I'm not in a cult.
You know what? It's funny you say this because I'm finna go somewhere. I was gonna bring this up in a group, but I'm gonna bring it up here.
Okay, do it, please.
I am a nasty motherfucker. I don't need y'all's commentary on this, but
comment on it regardless.
But I believe in approaching the booty with a spoon and eating the booty. I do believe in rubbing blue magic hair grease on that booty. Now, besides me saying that,
Lexi, you okay?
Yeah.
He's like frozen right now.
I'm not rubbing anything.
Hey, Lexi.
Does it taste good?
It's
I'm gonna rub it if it tastes good.
It is literally normal to him.
Okay.
They've heard this before.
So, I've heard this before. I don't agree with it 1,000%, but you can definitely listen.
So,
One thou wow.
Yeah, one thou wow.
Thou. So, are we talking about rubbing whatever blue magic on it, or are we just talking about eating booty?
Both. I like to put the blue magic there, then eat the booty. But the reason I brought this up is, as nasty as that may sound, you would hear that and say, boy, this guy's a nasty motherfucker. We can dip the cookie in the milk by putting the butt cheek in the milk. But what my thing is, we can do this. I hate tongue kissing. To me, tongue kissing is nasty. I will tongue kiss. Yeah, I will tongue kiss if I'm like really, like sometimes I'm drinking. If I drink gin, I might lick the booty, then give you a kiss, or like I will rock with it. But when typically I'm just like, I don't like. I think even when I'm watching a movie and I see people tongue kissing, I'll be like, ew, is something wrong with me?
Ew?
Yeah, when people be tongue kissing, I'll be like, that's nasty.
Wait, like even. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Even when
get
you
into
like,
that. Get into that. You about to get into it.
Elaborate.
I was ready.
It's just when I see people.
So like even on porns and stuff, you still say ew. Skip to the next.
Yeah, I skip that part.
Wow.
I don't watch the tongue kiss.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when they do the whole tongue out. My tongue is going from your tongue to your forehead and up and down, and I'm like, ugh. But I am aware that there's other things I'm willing to do that is probably could be considered worse. That's my point of asking this question. Like typically you could be like, well, you'll do that, but you won't do this.
What's your question?
Like, is that a concern? That do you tongue kiss? I just gotta find out, is this normal?
Yeah, I tongue kiss. I'll let my girl suck on my tongue and all that. Like, okay. I don't.
Wild child?
I'm sorry.
No.
You just let it finish.
Oh, keep on going. I want to hear it.
Already, like,
yeah, when he starts saying that, I got grossed out.
I mean, it's just me and her. We not filming it, but if you want to get filmed, then let's go.
Yeah, we can do that.
Make it a movie, bro.
Yeah.
Like Chameleon there said, we're gonna make a movie. And let's make a movie.
If that's what you're into, and if that's what she's into, and it doesn't make anybody uncomfortable in the bedroom, and it doesn't end the vibe, then cool. I'm pretty much down for whatever.
That's how I know I'm naughty.
You ain't sticking anything in my ass, but I mean. Oh. Yo, we were about to stop the stop.
Yoga, wait.
That's your style.
Velvet don't like people sucking on his tongue, I guess. I mean, he's weird for that, but it is what it is.
I have, we have another gentleman that's not here with us today, but he believes in cooking pancakes while he has sex at the same time.
Yeah, I ain't cooking no food.
Have you ever cooked dinner? Have you ever multitasked at the same time? You was like, we got to get this laundry on, or?
No.
Why are you stirring your drink like this to get out?
I tried to read Harry Potter from beginning to end while she doing it.
You had a book?
Stephen King's It.
It's a funny thing I always thought about. I always thought about making a playlist and putting the earbuds in her ear, and then putting a napkin in my shirt and having supper.
What is wrong with you?
See, because it's something about somebody doing something else while you're doing that.
Yeah, I think she might have figured out the infatuation with it.
What?
I'm like, you hear these tracks, I'm gonna make a playlist of your favorite songs. You hear these songs, lay your head back, and know that service is being provided at the same time.
You gotta try something new.
You ever let this is a safe place, even though the world hears it. Do you smoke weed?
I mean, yes.
His name is Bob. We have a guest named Bob. Another guest came in named Bob, and he's gonna answer the question. Bob
says yes.
Bob smokes the weed.
Bob smokes lots of ganja.
Okay. Have you ever wanted someone to smoke the weed while you provide the service? Or have you smoked the weed while a service was provided on you?
I've smoked the weed and then got the service done, but I feel like you ain't smoking no blunt and kissing me, yo. I need some good breath and I need some good taste. I don't want to taste your food.
You don't want to taste the chronic.
Yeah, I don't want to eat dinner and then taste you brush your teeth. Put some Listerine in there.
You don't want to get a kiss by the bourbon chicken.
Bruh, I'm not trying to kiss you after I'm drunk off of whiskey. Pay me the same respects.
It's a lot to say about some hygiene, though. Like,
girl, just brush your teeth.
Maybe you just been kissing the wrong women, dog.
No.
I'm just playing. I'm being real with you.
No, but like my thing is, even with that, I do tongue kiss, so it happens, but it's not a typical. When it happens,
he's saying ew the whole time.
Yeah, when it happens, I'm like, ooh, we did that. The next day, I'm like, ooh, we tongue kiss. I'm like, you nasty. We don't normally do this.
Oh, you nasty.
Yeah. I'll be like, what was in your cup? Because we tongue kiss. We normally go more. What drink matter of fact, this came up once. What drink gives you more naughty feelings?
Oh, I said all of the above.
How about any drink?
Any drink makes you...
My man's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I said.
If I'm drunk, it's going down.
Yeah, any drink is going down, I agree.
Ain't no such thing as whiskey dick. It's
But-
just happening.
But I do believe I did find out due to this podcast that we wanted to do experiments, and we purchased a drink that I normally don't drink. Gin. And when I drink gin, I found out that I gained a new power that the Avengers would have. Yeah. Well, I read behind. Now, getting right to the point of this. No. Yeah. Yeah, he threw me the alley-oop, and I said I can't miss this one. Now, there's been a lot of abuse towards males lately.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
Did we answer the calls?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to, the caller.
Okay.
So, what was his concern? That he thinks that he just really wanted to do something sweet for her, and he was upset that this was
That she wanted to suck his penis, man.
Yeah.
He wanted to just play a bass.
And he was upset?
He just said these freaks come out at night and they will destroy when you want to do something naughty for them, and they will pull your Peter out and pull it right in their mouth. And he's like, hold on, let me finish this ensemble that I have for you.
I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, let me say this. You about pleasing your woman?
Go for it.
If you about pleasing your woman, then anything's on the table.
Including your Peter.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, I want to play. I want to play Grand Theft Auto. I want you to whip it out while I throw this dude out the car and drive that shit in Chinatown.
There you go.
My word of advice. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I got one too. Before she says her word of advice, my word of advice is: when in doubt, whip it out.
And enter the cheat code.
Man, wild child. Okay, so my word of advice is
Follow that up.
Where you at?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
That if you're gonna play Grand Theft Auto all day or whatever you're doing around the house, like be clean, because you never know when stuff is gonna happen.
Services what can
even
come.
if you're like, man, I'm trying to play this game. Maybe, she's just trying to do certain things and go about her day too. Things can happen while you're still doing your thing.
I'm down for that. I'm even more down for that.
So I'm saying always be prepared.
So when you play the game, take a bath, then turn the game on.
Exactly.
And just sit there with your pants at your ankle and say, I'm just hanging out, playing. I'm just playing the game, that's all.
They say cleanliness is next to God.
The words of Little Boozy, wipe me down.
Thank you, Valencia. Thank you. That is very good.
Could somebody pass me the Axe soap? With
Remember that Axe that smelled like chocolate or something?
the chocolate Axe?
Dark brown joint?
Yeah,
Dark chocolate joint?
It's called
I was
Temptation.
rubbing that on my body, but I mean, I smelled other niggas in the football locker room like, yo, what are you doing, dog?
FYI, bro.
They're like, I smell like Valentine's candy.
You got cakes on that? Yo, there's nothing wrong with that player. You. Let someone catch it.
I switch up the tempo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. If a woman think you smell good, then you smell good, regardless if you smell like chocolate or smell like chicken.
And you know what though? It may be another topic, but I think, and this is just men and or women, I think whatever you put on, it smells different on different people.
It does.
Chemistry.
Because everyone's got a different natural smell.
So
Chemistry.
I agree with that.
It's been scientifically proven that you could buy a cologne, spray it on you. I could smell it and be like, wow, what is that? And you could say, hey, take some of this. And I could go home and my girl can be like, yuck. Because it doesn't mean that cologne's not good. It just probably don't work the same with me.
Absolutely.
And that it works with you chemistry wise. Like there's people that, like, you ever had somebody be like, hey, you be like, damn, what is that? And they be like, oh yeah, it's this. You get some, you put it on and you're like, I barely smell it.
Yep.
I love a cologne that I can do laundry. After the laundry's done, the clothes come out the washer dryer and I still smell the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga come out smelling like Downy and want to be down.
Yeah. I just want to be down.
Cuddle me, snuggle me.
So there's a rumor going on. Matter of fact, it's not just a rumor.
Ain't no rumor about me, so what's good?
It might be about you as well. It's about all males. Us men are being abused out here.
Really?
And I wanted to discuss. There's a trending hashtag niggas ain't shit.
Really?
There's a trending niggas will do this and niggas will do that. I've been noticing us men don't typically stand up for ourselves. We just let it happen. Women been saying niggas ain't shit. This ain't new. This been happening since the 80s probably. It's probably even worse. It's probably even worse now.
Slavery days.
Yeah, they probably were saying it then too.
In the cotton field saying niggas ain't shit.
Yeah. So we got to defend ourselves here. Just to start here, we had a discussion in our group, VelvetVibez Pimpcast on Facebook. But we had a discussion. If your man, we had a discussion that said this: if you're going on a first date and you have children, and this gentleman wants to take you out, who's supposed to pay for the babysitter? There was a few people that said, men, I pay for my own babysitter. But I saw a few women in there said, if you want to take me on a date, you need to pay the babysitter to babysit my kids so you can take me on a date. And I saw a lot of men saying, yes, ma'am. And there was like, you go, girl, get your assist. You know, you got to make that nigga pay if he really want to take you out. And we didn't really defend ourselves too much. And I saw it. I was busy at work. I was too busy to respond, but I did rub my hands together and say,
I mean, I can just kick this off real quick.
Yeah, because we're gonna follow you.
Shove it off. I need a woman's opinion.
Right. From my perspective, for me, you know, I have a daughter. And it's just like, for me, if I can't afford a babysitter, then I'm just not going. Like, if I don't have a place for her to go on my own, like, I'm just not going. Like, that's the answer.
That's wild. Would y'all young males pay for a young lady, her children, on the first, I will emphasize, the first date?
Even, like, I don't even think you should even offer that. Like, on the first date, if I'm like, I don't have a babysitter, I can't go, I don't even expect you to say,
I got this.
Yeah, like, and who's this babysitter now? Like, who's the babysitter?
They're like,
I'm gonna get that babysitter on the cheap. That babysitter better find out Groupon.
Exactly. How I know I need top of the line babysitting. I can't just drop her off.
Just drop one.
Like my mom will watch her. Like, I don't know.
You got a grandmama, right?
Mm-hmm. So how you rocking with this?
I'm not doing it, bro. Straight up.
This is the time. Look, this is the time that we have to stand up. We have to quit saying.
First date?
Yes,
First date? Hell no, I'm not doing it. I don't even know if I'm gonna like you.
We don't know if we're gonna make it through the date.
Wild Child don't even know if he's paying for the date or not.
Yeah.
I probably don't even know your last name.
I'll rock with paying with the date, but I don't even know if I like you not like that to be on the second date. To like, if it was like maybe a second, maybe a third date potentially. Like, I'm like, you know what? Like, yo, first time was official.
You ever had a girl throw clues at you? Like, y'all be on the date. It may not be paid for the babysitter, but it may be like, oh, damn, my phone is acting up. Oh, they must have cut this thing off. Then they give you them side eyes.
What?
And you're like, oh, I'm not going to pay it.
I got a few minute clues on what they want to have, bro.
Or when you say, hey, you should come through. And they be like, I'm out of gas. You got this?
Nah, big wildin'. If you can't pay for your own bills, then it's already an issue.
They giving you this, but they ain't even asking. They just dropping a little hint.
And that's when you.
I'm gonna drop it further.
Yeah. That's when you look at your penis and you say, "My penis is kind of."
It doesn't get hard unless you pay a fee.
It's active right now. I think it's so active.
I deactivated this service.
You just got blocked.
I blocked your account. It only works when you make your own payments, and then it starts getting hard all of a sudden.
Big fact, I'm not. Look, if we going on a date, I'm still finding out stuff about you. I'll pay for dinner, but that's about it. I'm not gonna pay for your kid to get babysat. I'm not gonna pay your phone bills. I'm barely finding out your middle name.
Yeah,
you know
right?
Possibly.
I probably haven't even met your kid yet, and I definitely don't remember your kid's name.
Cause I saw a lot of women saying, "Yes, sis, make that man pay for your babysitter." And I was like, "Hold on, is this a thing?
Yeah.
Are we getting abused out here?"
I honestly feel, okay, so let's just say,
Speak on it.
if let's just say you ask this girl on a date, she says, "Cool, I would love to go," and like she says, "But I need a babysitter. Can you pay for my babysitter?" She flat out asks you. There's no hints or anything like that. She flat out asks you, "Can you pay for the babysitter?"
All right. Here's what I will say.
What are you doing?
Here's what I'm gonna say. So
that's the question.
Again, we're going off of vibes.
So it depends.
So it would really depend for me.
I ain't doing it. Period.
No.
So,
I don't give a fuck what vibe you give me.
I don't worry about no adult diapers. There's no difference.
I really do stand firm behind that. First time, no. Because the simple fact, I really don't know where the fuck this is going. So I'm spending this extra X amount of dollars for something that I don't even know where the future holds.
I'm already paying for your house.
And I'm already saying, hey, like, you don't have to pay for
We're not going there.
anything else.
First date.
all you have to do is pay for your kids to get watched for a few hours.
Yeah.
And you already informed me that you have these children, and you already informed me that who, what, when, where, why, ages, and everything. So I figured we already have these conversations to let me know what the next move is in regards to get you out.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying that, hey, I'm not getting out, and you know I'm paying for everything else, and you ain't getting out just because your kids ain't watched too, on top of me saying, hey, I'm funding tonight, I'm probably going to get you, I'm probably going to come take care of everything else on the night, XYZ. All you have to do is do what you already been doing in regards to keeping your kids watching.
Now you want me to do it.
Yeah. You already been doing that.
So
before I came along, you probably already had some stuff going on.
So check this out here.
I'm checking it out.
I agree with you. We barely met. This is our first time kicking it together. I don't know your kids. I don't know how many kids you have. I don't know who you have a kid with. I'm not whipping out my debit card for grandma or cousin Pookie to cover your children. But then I realized the other day that us men are getting abused. Know your worth, King.
Hey, drop that bomb on that shit.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
Know your worth, King, because I had a weird experience the other day. And you know when you, after something happens, afterwards you be like, I probably should have handled that differently? There we go.
Thank you.
Number one fans. There was I was not at my break. I work in a call center. Don't worry which one. As I was departing from my cubicle, I got up. Let me just not say woke up, but I got up and said, hey, I need an energy drink. I'm feeling kind of sleepy. I approached our local cafeteria. As I got downstairs and I approached the door to our cafeteria, I noticed a woman standing at the door to the cafeteria. When I got to the door, she was already at the door, in front of the door. I am all for chivalry. If I'm approaching the door and I see a woman coming behind me, I will hold the door open.
Oh, yeah, that's how I'm talking.
I was raised properly. It looks like we all were. I did provide chivalry, but I did feel away after I provided this chivalry. When I got to the door, I noticed the woman was already at the door, and she was standing at the door, looking at the door, focusing at the door, but she didn't open the door. So when I got to the door, I did ask the question.
Oh my gosh, Sawildchild, what's wrong with
Ain't nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with her? Why she leaving at the door?
I'm gonna take lunch at a later time.
Yeah.
you? You just turn around.
Yeah.
I will rephrase that this is a door you don't want to open. But anyway, she was a senior citizen. But anyway,
Yeah.
she,
That's not like that 50 enough for it.
when I got to the door, I needed to go in the door anyway. I looked at her and I asked a question that I probably normally wouldn't ask because I need to already go in there.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
No, I was saying.
How old is she? Oh no. That is a good question. But when I got to the door, I looked at her and I said, oh, you must have forgot your badge, or you don't have your badge. It's one of those you got to scan to get in the door. She said, no, I have my badge. She didn't say I'm waiting on the dude to open the door, but she was just standing at the door, in front of the door. I scanned my badge. Then she kind of was like at the door. I opened the door. Then she went in. So then I was thinking, was you just standing at the door until a dude came? Because you don't open your own door, even though you're the only person here. I do agree that if the dude is around, open the door. But I'm like, were you just hanging out at the door until a dude comes? So after I opened the door, I'm like, go ahead. And she went in. Then I was like, I mumbled under my breath, bitch. Was I? Was?
That's real. I would never say that, but yeah.
That's what I mumbled it under my breath. I didn't whisper it in her ear. I just said it to myself. I was like, little bitch. Because it made me wonder, how long were you here before? When I got there, she was there. Yeah, hold up. So I'm just like, yeah, 21. So I'm like, this how you rock? You like, I'm gonna stand. I don't open no doors. I started feeling like, I'm like, okay, are you entitled? You just stand at a door until any man comes by, no matter who he is or whatever the case is. I don't even put my hand on the door handle. So I was like, hold on. Have I been abused right now?
Yeah.
Lynneopoly, was I abused?
Y'all let yourselves get abused. Let it be us or let it be me walk to that door. I would have stood there right with her and said, we just stand
Let's all stand here.
Yeah.
Y'all listen to
You know, I don't care if you were waiting for somebody younger to come along, a man to come along, or who to come along. I'm not opening the door. I'm not helping you. So we just all stand at the door. And if I was you especially, I would be like, I'm not opening nothing.
I needed my drink.
Y'all gotta stand up for yourself more often.
So you're saying that the dude has to open the door for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying you shouldn't have opened the door. You should have stood there along with her. And said,
We can all stand here.
We're just gonna wait.
Let's have a talk.
Let's wait on the guy to come open the door for
Let's
both
talk
of us.
about shit.
There's got to be a guy around here somewhere.
Gentlemen,
I'm gonna tell y'all all something
It's not me.
right now. As she was dragging that wagon,
oh Lord.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have highly.
Let me.
Sawildchild.
See, that means you gonna let yourself get abused, accused, and
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Just to open the door, I would have highly considered it.
Let me put this.
See, respect yourself, King.
Would you?
That's what we talking about.
Would you open the door for Betty White after Betty White was already at the door? No,
She ain't dragging that wagon.
she's not. She's dragging that sagging. So let's make this clear. We already had an episode about being a gentleman and all that stuff. When I get to the door, you at the door. If I get to the door and I see you coming behind me, I got you.
Yeah.
If you get to the door right before I get to the door, I'm like, hold on, I got it. Same thing, same energy. If I get to the door and you was at the door when I got to the door, I'm kind of like, how long was you at the door? Was you at the door till any dude come by?
So,
Like, you're just like, I don't touch doorknobs? Like, what is this energy?
Here's what I will respect because of the simple fact that, you know,
been on dates, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you rocking with shorty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good vibes and everything.
Yes, sir.
so
Wow.
So, you get to the door first, and there's two doors, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a door that you open, and then you may have let a few people in.
I should have closed the door on that bitch. What I should have did.
You get in and you just
So
close
then,
it.
Yeah.
and then
They do that to me, hell.
What I like though is because I've had this before, and she respectfully waits on you to open the second door. Now, because you with this shorty, like this is already something that's been established. Like you invited her on a date at XYZ and ABC, and you opened the first door, so you already there.
Yeah.
But there's some people behind her walking through. So as your gentleman speaks, you still keep that door open for the family or the couple or whoever came through.
True. Yeah.
And then she still waits for you because she sees the family and the couple.
Follow.
Open the door.
I want all men to answer this question. I saw a meme that said this. It said you go take a girl on her first date. It's the first time y'all ever went on a date.
Okay.
You slipped. You got in the car. You in the driver's seat. She's at the passenger seat. I don't want to hear the easy answer to this, which is I would have never done that. You slipped. You jumped in the driver's seat. She's at the passenger seat. She's standing there. She's not opening the door. She's just like, I'm at the door. I'm waiting on you. Are you jumping back out the car? Or are you like, bitch, you saw I got in the car. Get in the car. Get your ass. Open the door.
I'm opening the door from the inside.
Facts.
I'll push the door
Lexi.
open for you.
Does that mean we failed them? Or does that mean we're all in the car? You can get yourself in the car.
In my opinion,
You gonna do it? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Take it.
in my opinion, we're all human. I ain't gonna open the door 100%. Okay.
You can just push it open.
I'm gonna push it open from the inside. It's still opening the door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was raised by women all my life.
Okay.
Okay. There wasn't too many men that wanted to stay in my life. Okay.
Facts.
Including my pops.
Facts.
So
Gotcha.
my mama taught me to always open the door for women. But my mama also taught me to have respect for myself and not be run over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna open the door for you, and you're gonna get your ass in, right? You're gonna get your ass in the door, okay? I'm gonna open the door for a couple other people, max 5. Then someone else gotta open the door. I'm gonna pass on the tradition.
Yeah, we gotta pass it
someone
on.
else was raised that way. You know what I'm saying?
Follow.
My girl opens the door for me from the inside. I open the door for her. We
Whoever
split
driving.
the responsibility. Now we split the responsibility in general. I always open the door for women.
And
I'm not standing there like a dickhead and serving you. I'm not your slave or anything like that.
You're not opening for 25 people coming through.
No, I'm not the bouncer.
So let me ask.
See, the whole thing about opening the car door for us is like to make sure we got in there safely. Like, I know that obviously, yeah, you're in there. This ain't no horror movie. Like, there's nobody after us. But it's just like, why wouldn't you, before you got in, say, hey, let me make sure you're in the car, and then I get in the car?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I don't do that.
But if you slipped and jumped in the car, and then she's like, I'm just going to stand at the door.
Yeah, I'm opening the car
until you get out.
Yo,
I'm opening from the inside.
We're at Walmart. We just went grocery shopping. Get your ass in the car. So you can go. I'm gonna open the door for you on definitely special occasions. All special occasions. We on date night. I'm gonna open the door for you. We at the club. I'm gonna open the door for you. We at the bar. I'm gonna open the door for you. But we just went grocery shopping and it's late and I want to go home. You have hands. It's not to be disrespectful. It's definitely not to be disrespectful because I respect all women.
Of course.
And you should respect all women in 2018. If you ain't doing it, then you a bitch.
It's a scary world.
Choke yourself out.
Yeah.
But, and we men have a responsibility.
Real softly.
We have a responsibility to be gentlemen, but we don't have a responsibility to be servants.
So here's a question here. I noticed that how us men are being abused out here. Know your worth, King. And
Is this the name of the episode? Know your worth, King? Kind of like this.
Yeah. Like you need to know.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah, it is.
You got me on here real warm and vibing.
Yeah, you vibing? You always
Should
vibe.
I just walk away right now?
No. We're having a moment.
Wait. We definitely need your opinion. We gonna even say just know your worth, King/Queen. Like we can't do you like that.
No. It's cool. Like let y'all have this moment. Y'all need this moment.
That's why she be in the she makes that we shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah. You here though, but I need you to know your worth as well. On top of that,
we stay knowing our worth. Okay. That's the issue.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's actually anti-feminist, so that's what I love about her opinion. But of course, at the same time, she's not just sitting here saying, I love bullshit. Treat me like shit.
I understand. I'm just messing with y'all. Like, I know that y'all need this moment. Like, Joe Budden said, I know we talk about Joe Budden so much.
Because I love Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Even on and off, you know what I'm saying? On and off the music vibe, Joe Budden keep that shit 1,000 out.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason
Oh
why.
my gosh. Did you see how he started off the episode for State of the Culture?
Oh yeah, when he just be like, I don't give a fuck, suck my dick.
Yeah, that's how I dress. We're working on it. Like,
Hey, it's under construction, my nigga. Give that nigga a break. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
So here's a question that came up in the group. And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick, not to cut you off. Mm-hmm. But just like how I was saying, like, we're always, as women, like, we're always, held at, like, a high regard. Like, we're always told to respect ourselves. We're always told how important we are and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm here for y'all. I'm not leaving. But it is important that this moment is y'all's moment. So it is just...
It's important.
Respect yourself, King. Like,
Please.
Know your worth, King. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
thank you for standing with us. Thank you for standing with us.
Have you ever had somebody that you, especially us men, but it can also go with Lynneopoly as well. Have you ever had somebody, because this, as we said, know your worth, that you used to be with, you're not with them anymore.
Yeah.
When you were with them, they love to accuse you for cheating. And then they always made it clear that they're not forced cheating. When you're not with them no more, they try to cheat with you. Think clearly on this. The same person that said, I don't fuck with cheaters, when you wasn't with them no more, and you was like, hey, I'm talking to somebody, and they said, so what you doing Friday? And you're like, hold on, didn't you used to always accuse me of cheating? Now you want to cheat with me? Know your worth.
So I'll start this off because of some fact, like I said, I've been married.
Because it's not an easy one to just be like, let's do that. You be like, hold on, you was always saying cheat, and now you saying let's meet up Friday.
Right. So, y'all, I'm about to this topic is about to let y'all inside the wild child.
Go for it.
If you can drink, man. I see you playing with your...
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we sipping.
Hey, man.
Not tripping.
Turn the water into wine.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
The thirst is real.
Talk about it.
So, in the simple fact that I am wild, but that really hits the name. Like, I am that motherfucker. But at the same token, like, the reason why I am wild, and this is the reason why,
Yeah.
is because of the simple fact that I was with one person since like on and off, and I will say on and off, and this is a true story, since 19. So I was on and off with one woman since 19 up until about like 27, 28.
I want you to keep talking, but I just want to add a kicker, as you always say.
Yes, I love it.
If they did say cheat alongside with me, did it make you revisit when y'all used to be together and make you say, damn, you trying to sneak with me? Was you cheating on me? Because you really clever, and you're like, just meet me, just keep me up on this other day.
I'm about to take you right into
Take me there.
So, I said that to say this. Even with being with this woman on and off for an extended period of time, so that means obviously I wasn't a wild child because I actually stayed with one woman.
You was cool on it.
Yeah.
Quite some time. This particular woman, also told me that she loves somebody else. So when you asked that question, I brought you to this segment.
It took you somewhere.
It took me somewhere.
Yeah.
Because of the simple fact that you like, yeah, hey, they was with this other person, and you just talking about cheating. I'm actually talking about somebody saying that they love you and love somebody else, which is way higher than just cheating.
Yeah.
So that is a true and genuine vibe that happened to me, and I really didn't know how to take it.
Talk about it, King.
What kind of love is it though? Because I feel like you got some love for some friends. Right?
Wait, and I'll because you're answering the question that I'm literally about to answer right now.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Please.
So she was not only in love with me, she was in love with somebody else. Nice. So she even said that she made a genuine point. I was like, and this can actually be a topic too. Okay. There's so many topics we might want to write some shit down.
Yeah, all right.
Or we might want to listen back to this shit.
Okay.
Because the simple fact is like, is it possible to be in love with two different people? Right? So because of the simple fact that you may love one person and you may be in love with this particular person, and we'll say, okay, got a girl. So usually girls like that protection, they love that, and they love that affection. So right? So you are in love with this guy, maybe for protection, and you may be in love with this other guy, maybe for the affection.
Yeah, they give you a different vibe.
They give you different vibes.
That other person can't give.
That they can't give. So now, and like I said, this could be, and I don't know if we need anybody to speak on this right now, but I just want to give you the vibe that I'm saying that cheating and having affections and feelings for one person and or another person at the same time. Yeah. It's actually, from my experience, it's actually true. Because the person said that they can love me and love another male in the same aspect.
Yeah, they just get something else from that.
Yeah,
person.
so and that's not saying that that's something I couldn't do or wouldn't do or whatever the case may be. It's just that vibe that they felt and that connection that they felt was tough too. It was tough too.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
It's not to say it's not difficult. Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's heavy. So I'm gonna let y'all now my story, that's why I want to start off first. Now my story, but that way y'all heard that somebody was able to tell me that they was able to love somebody else on top of loving me. How do y'all feel about that? Now, hey, cheating on something which is simple. That shit is simple.
I feel like Lil Kiki. Let's chunk up the deuce for the north and the south.
Now let's talk about it, because it's definitely tough. It ain't nothing easy.
If you look, when it comes to that, like,
I just don't get why people aren't just more honest. You know, like there's so many things out here. Like people are
polygamous and all that.
Polyamorous and all these other things and polygamous and all these different things are out here now that I feel like there's no reason to even lie or to be with somebody.
But have you had this particular experience?
I'm just I'm gonna get around to it, but real quick, just from what Wild Child saying, like how it was just brought up with I love this person, I love you. It's just kind of like, if you weren't ready for this, you should have never got into this. And I know that, you know, everybody grows and has to realize things on their own, but it's just like, before you make big decisions like having a kid with someone, marrying someone, dating someone, like, you need to evaluate
all this needs
yourself.
to be considered.
Yeah, before you pull somebody into your world, you need to make sure your world is cool and that they want to be in there. Don't false advertise. But from what you said, like, if they said, hey, come cheat with me, I would probably replay everything and be like,
of when you were with them, right?
Yeah, you were probably cheating on me too.
Yeah.
Be like, and just be like,
I want everybody to be honest. Have you? It could be in the past. Valexia, have you had somebody that they seemed like they was too good at this? That was like, yo, you know, what's crap? It could be in a previous situation, but they was like, what's good on Friday? Oh, what you doing Monday? So then it make you think, like, you're not with them now, but you used to be with them, and they just seem like they have this, like they're talented in this department. So it makes you think, damn, when we were together, is this how you gave it up? Like,
I've never been in a situation to where the person.
Because, matter of fact, I'll let you follow how I'm going to say it.
like, you just never experienced this before?
Well, I've been the person that the person cheated with, and they were my close friend, and we were always that kind of people to where we were so close that we would fuck all the time. Look,
like, it didn't
and
matter.
no one even noticed.
It wasn't gonna change your relationship.
It wasn't a thing. Like, she'd be with other niggas, and she'd be like, "Hey, like, what are you doing? I just need to talk. I just need to vent." And she just couldn't.
You know what that led to?
Yeah, we knew what it led to. We knew what it was, and I'd be like, "All right, I'll go swoop you up," because we had a deeper relationship because we knew each other for so long. We've been friends for so long, 7th grade, 6th grade, whatever, and we had that history and that bond, and we knew each other literally inside and out. And you know, and I had this one female in particular to where she told me to pick her up. I did not know what her situation was. We were just close friends, and I always knew that there is a possibility that we fucking.
Yeah.
Right. 50-50 shot.
Yeah. So she had asked me to pick her up so we could just talk about life and all that shit. So I took her to dinner. We talked about everything. You know, it was cool. You know, it was like she was my girlfriend, but we were just super cool at the time.
Your undergarments.
I wasn't with anybody at the time.
I'm
away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then she was like, "Hey, do you mind taking me to my apartment?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I took her to her apartment, unbeknownst to me that I was taking her to her boyfriend's apartment, right? So we ended up going to the parking lot, and I noticed that she's getting kind of fidgety, right?
Yep.
And I'm just like, "Hey, you know, you straight?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good. And I was like, "Okay, I'm just taking you home, right? Like, I don't need to like walk you inside." And she's like, "No, you don't need to walk me inside." I was like, "Cool." We get to the parking lot, we park, we talking. She's not drunk or nothing. She's like, she just hops in the back seat, lifts her skirt up, and say, "Let's do it." We end up smashing in the parking lot of her boyfriend's apartment where she living.
And he up there. Yeah.
He up there. She gets out of my car after she done blowing me and fucking me and stuff, and goes and sleeps with that nigga.
Like
she tells me about it. She's like, "Look, this is my boyfriend's apartment." Afterwards, you know what I'm saying? This is my boyfriend's apartment.
Wow.
I want to be real with you. I want to be 100 with you. And it was.
That's not 100. That's 76.
No, it's not 100. It's not 100 when we already in the parking space.
And I'm already sliding in.
Yeah,
like,
I'm already sliding in. But what was done is done. And she told me, "Look, I'm going up there to my boyfriend's apartment, and I mean, I'm gonna sleep there." And I was like, "Look,
that's wild.
If that's what you want to do, that's on you. That's not on me."
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, if this nigga come down and this nigga wants to throw hands, then I guess we throwing hands on site.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
speak to that person, that individual anymore. I won't mention
That's a good thing.
I don't think you want to be a part of that either.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's super dope, and I'll always have that love for her. But
like, you're cool and stuff, but not all this.
You have to be, if we're gonna be this type of people, then you need to be a thou wow.
Yeah, you should. Hey, ow.
It's gonna be.
It's more wild when you find out, like, because
it allows you to make
afterwards.
Yeah.
When they tell you afterwards and they say, I'm just trying to keep it a thou wow. Actually, you're not keeping a thou wow. You're keeping it 96% because you already know. You waited till we did what we did and then you told me.
I mean, you have those. I mean, you used to have those best friends that you would fuck, right? It wasn't necessarily anything more than that. You, like, I had a situation where we would never be able to, like, be boyfriend and girlfriend because of the situation that we were in. When I was in a relationship, she was single.
Yeah.
And when I was single, she was in a relationship. And
So it was a bunch of ping pong.
Yeah, it was a bunch of ping pong, and it was never the right situation.
Back and forth.
You know, and if it happens like that, then it happens like that. Like, I can't stop you from being in a relationship, and no, I'm not gonna get mad or be jealous. All I can do is be there for you. But if you fucking lying to me, yo, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be best friends, and you lying to me.
See, we're
not friends at all. You can't keep it 100 with me.
That's deeper. That's deeper than what I experienced, but I have experienced. Like, I used to be with somebody, and I'm single, and while I'm single, I'm aware that they talking to somebody, and then they're like, "So, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "You trying to come through?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm trying to see what time you're available." And I know you're talking to somebody. Yeah. So the same, like, just like I said, I'm like, wow. It makes me think, I used to be, now we're not together, but I used to be with you. So it made me think, if you like, hey, you know, you're going to see what you're doing Friday, or it makes me think, damn, hold on. Yeah, it makes me say, hold on. While we was together, is this how it used to rock?
Yeah, are you doing
have I got played and I didn't know I got played?
I mean, I would hope that we have that trust. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. Go ahead.
Take us there.
So this is when it comes in where y'all need to say, know your worth, king. Because honestly, I've never experienced this before. So I don't know how I should feel about this. If it's like, you're whack, I want nothing to do with you, stay over there. Or if it's just like, I picked a quality person on that level that was just like, hey, I'm not trying to cheat on this person to talk to you or anything like that. Like, I'm not a cheater. But I feel as though if y'all have experienced this, which it seems like all of y'all have experienced this, it's like, know your worth. Like, pick a quality female. Like, y'all just look, I don't want to generalize and say y'all, but a lot of times.
Don't even worry about it. I got you.
No, it's real shit.
A lot of times y'all pick, like, people that it's just like, you go off of looks and just go off of
the local thotty.
Just some basic information. You get basic information and you say, this is the one. And it's just like, she made you a sandwich and said, hey, I like hanging out with you.
You're like, that girl knows her mayonnaise.
This is it.
So like, you use wheat bread? I think we vibing.
Country fair or what?
She made you a sandwich with some Miracle
Iron Kids.
It might be Iron Kids.
Am I still paying for her babysitter?
She might convince you to.
Right?
Here's what I will say.
And I want to know, have you been through it? Because I know you said she loves somebody else, but have you used to be with somebody, and then when y'all ain't together, they be like, so what's good? And you be like, hold on, let me revisit our previous relations now that you said this.
I've had previous
sneaky motherfucker, you.
I don't know if it's, to be straightforward and honest, I don't know if they were with somebody, without somebody, anything like that. Yeah. I just know that I've visited something, and then something has been revisited. So I don't know if it was with nobody at the time or whatever the case may be. I just know that shit has happened, and it's just all on human wants and needs. I just feel like that's what it is. If it was something good, then you know what's good, and then you go get what's good.
Yeah, if you
that's the simple facts. Or if you're curious and you trying to figure out, and now you at this point where you're not in that situation that you're trying to figure out, then you figure out.
Follow me.
This is done.
I'm gonna take you to another place.
Take me there, please.
I know a place.
Boom, 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 boom.
What you gonna say? I'll take you there.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah, we was there. We was all in there.
Oh, that's the same song?
Yeah.
Yes, we was all in the same wave.
Yeah, we was on that wavelength.
Okay.
Give it up for whiskey in the house with root beer. The root beer is out, so we got to drink straight liquor now. So we get busy. Here's another question: have you ever had a young lady that you used to be with when y'all were together? Y'all were together for quite some time. Eventually, you got to the point that you would unwrap the Tootsie Roll and give her raw love. Once you get back together, it's been a while. You say, pass me that condom. Why do you get mad when you want to use a condom after it's been a minute?
You don't know where the fuck you been. Look,
In the meantime.
And you know what? I was saying that on the east side. You don't know where I've been. I don't know where you been.
Is this from the east side, you said? Or each side?
Each side.
Oh, okay.
Those files are blacked out. Like,
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on from
I don't know, you've been there
2017 to
60 days.
2018. What were you doing?
Yeah, you're like, we haven't messed around in the past couple of
when
years.
You fucking other niggas raw. I don't want to get herpes. I don't want to wake up with a blister. Like at this point.
So they're like, oh, that's where we are now.
I don't need bumps on the D.
Yeah, I need to care for my self-worth at some extent. You know what I'm saying?
I care for you.
How you get that from that?
I don't know. That's you reaching. Hey.
Tell me. Oh, there we go. I was going with Aaliyah. Tell me why you cry. Rock the boat. So tell me about it. Have you been down this road when you say pass me that rubber and they say what is that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I actually have not.
If I don't know, then it's
even on top of I don't know, even on top of saying, yo, I don't want to put a kid in you.
I don't want to make no mistakes. The worst thing you can make is the worst thing that can happen is you make a child with someone you don't want to make a child with.
But some people think that makes the relationship better. Like, what? I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying that's true, but you break up with somebody and then they be like, I really missed you. I cared for you. We should have a child. And you're like, hold on. We barely just started back talking.
See, I'm a fly on the wall right now.
Yeah.
That's what I am right now.
Okay.
So, in this conversation, this is when I jump in and say,
talk to
know your worth. Like, seriously, like, y'all be picking the wildest females. Like, what is going on?
What's an experience?
And that is SA.
Wow.
You don't. Off of that, don't plug your.
I'm telling you, playing around, we over here dreaming of fishes and stuff.
Don't. There's been some fish dreams around the house.
Look, y'all might want to go to Corpus Christi. Y'all might want to go to Browning Lake. In San Antonio, y'all might want to do that because
it's gonna be a new year and new birth for you. So
oh my god!
It's gonna be.
Y'all must have some relatives or something, or because it ain't me.
Shit.
Oh my god!
But no, I say that because again, it goes back to this pick. Better select, like it's not even like better selection. Like I'm saying anything, but if a girl is straight out telling you, "I think a baby's gonna fix this," then it's kind of like, hey, that's a sign. Like that's not some mystery that you have to figure out.
She gotta get all the way up.
I think that shit is real simple. I think it's this: if me and you can't get along,
What do you think a kid's gonna make it?
how? Yeah, I don't even know if I want a dog with you. Like, cause people be breaking up and they be like, who gets the dog? Who gets the? That's a thing. That is a real thing. There have been people that have been in some almost separations and they had that conversation. Where's the dog going?
It's crazy because I want a dog right now, but I'm like, are we ready for a dog? This is commitment. Who's gonna take the dog?
A dog, a kid, it's all a commitment.
I would tell you right now. Yo, go ahead.
Talk about it,
How did
Alexa.
y'all fix it? Figure out the dog.
You ever been in the?
You got visitations for the dog?
You ever been in the? I'm sure you know. It sounds like you're good at home, but I'm sure you have been in the almost breakup where this conversation was real. Like who gonna take the dog? Where I'm gonna take my stuff? Yeah.
This really happened. Yeah, this is my past relationship. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, he rubbed his whole beard. That's
My-
all. He rubbed his whole beard, bro.
Thank you for calling the beard.
Yeah,
yo. I have so much respect in the room.
Hey,
There you go.
FYI though, I shaved my beard to do No Shave November.
Okay.
So
Are you finna rebuild?
no, FYI though, so I'm gonna give my stipulations on No Shave November. I'm gonna continue to cut my hair, my actual no hair,
And let rock the beard.
and I'm gonna keep the ball going, and then the beard is gonna get shaped up.
You heard about No Nut November?
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. I'm nutting. I'm nutting all the way.
I'm not participating in that.
I'm definitely not participating. But I am.
Me either.
Because I can't walk around looking like Grizzly Adams.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Oh, you know what? I'm not against that. I do participate in No Shave November, but I don't participate in No Lineup November.
Oh, yeah, no.
The appointment is set. I know when the deposit hits, I will see you when the deposit hits, and we gonna get rocked up. So when I'm rocking, you be like, oh, you on your Rick Ross shit? Yeah. Call it that. And you can say, oh, or you could just let him say, huh. Talk to him.
Yeah, so I'm definitely baby McPherson face right now. That's already growing back. Yeah. So
you know it's gonna be a spicy month.
Yeah.
More nut November.
Yeah, more nut November.
I'm already itching, so I am not. That means I need some cakes. Anyway, go ahead, my lady.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
it's talking about pet custody.
First, start with the dog's name. Or no, don't start with the dog's name. I'm sorry.
Start with the dog's name.
That's what you want. I feel like she's gonna get cock swab over there.
He no longer with us. I mean, that was my baby. His name was Sexy. His name was Big Sexy.
What breed?
English Bull Terrier.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah.
That was my boy. That was my first dog that I can honestly say, yo, I raised it, and I had him for.
I love him. English Bull.
Yeah, man. He passed away August 18th. Last year.
He had the underbite.
No, he just had the long jaw. You know what
okay, yeah.
Like the Target commercial.
Okay, yeah.
Beautiful dog, man. I mean,
like the one from, I know the breed you're talking about, like from Next Friday.
Exactly.
With the yeah.
Yeah, man. That was.
I was thinking of an English bulldog. I love them too. With the
yeah. My uncle's got one of them.
Man.
But yeah, man, it's hard to talk about. He was my baby. That was my world, my joy. So basically, in my last relationship, I'm not gonna say shout out to her, but in my last relationship, I've always that was my dream dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've always wanted a dog. My mom refused to get that dog because she thought the dog was too big. She was always into Shih Tzus and Yorkies and shit.
Yeah.
So my ex-girlfriend ended up purchasing that dog for me.
Okay.
We drove all the way to Detroit, Texas, my nigga. I
didn't know that city existed.
I didn't
right? It's very racist.
That's a real city. You gave us that.
Yeah,
there's a Las Vegas, Oklahoma, by the way.
But we drove out to Detroit, Texas. I got this puppy and I fell in love with him, yo. I put him on my lap all the way home and I couldn't be any more happier. Like, just reminiscing. I got him around my neck. These are his ashes in my necklace, because he meant that much.
Oh, you're a dog lover.
I'm a huge dog lover.
Too, man.
I'm a huge dog. Dogs are
I had a husky. Yeah. I had a Alaskan husky. No, a Siberian husky at one point in time, but the red one, not the black and white. When they're like a fox, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, so she purchased the dog for me. The dog was fucking $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
So she purchased the dog for me, and we raised the dog.
That's why she felt entitled to the dog.
Yes. So, fast forward in the time, a couple years later, I think it's like 3 or 4 years into the relationship, we ended up going our separate ways. And she was like, yo, we raised a dog together. I want to spend time with the dog. Me, personally, I was just like, all right, fine. We can do it, I suppose. But I wasn't in a relationship at that time, so I didn't have no problems. I didn't have no issues, you know. Then I got into a relationship, and it became a huge problem.
No tissue.
Like to the point where I was like, look, I'll give you the dog over the weekend. You can take him or whatever, and I won't have an issue with it. But the moment you start acting up, it's donezo. Wow. So like I said, that was my baby. I'd do anything for my baby. That was my child because me personally, I'm not ready for kids, so those are my kids.
You know of course.
So it was, but she was also kind of crazy because she was stalking me for quite some time or whatever. Okay. And but anyway, so she would come through the house. She would pick up the dog. I would have to go over there and drop off the dog. And eventually, it just became an issue with my girlfriend, my current girlfriend. And she was like, look, this needs to stop because she roamed by the house at unquestioned times. Like, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what she's doing. She's staying over for long periods of time just because she wants to see the dog. And that's not okay. And I was like, look, I get that, but I mean, she bought me a dog. She has every right to be around the dog. Like, I can't do nothing about it because it was before you, you know? And when it started to become an issue, when it started to get out of hand, that's when, you know, you just got to put your foot down and be like, look, we got to make a decision. You bought the dog for me, right? Therefore, it's my dog. If you have an issue with that, like, I have all the paperwork. So, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to take my dog from me. You know what I'm saying? But
Judge Judy, where you cracking?
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, when I tell you that was a good dog, I could snap my fucking fingers and he would stop in his tracks and come back to me. All I gotta do is yell sexy and he would run back to me. Every time I come home from work, he would get mad excited and run to the door, yo. He'd run to me. I had this dog got me through when my best friend got shot in front of me. He was there for me. You know what I'm saying? This dog got me through the hardest times of my fucking life. You know how much I sacrificed for the dog? Everything.
Yeah,
you know
see, people don't realize the love for a pet. Like the husky I told you I had. Her name was Foxy because, like I said, she was like that reddish fox color. Yeah. Even though she, you know, they look like a wolf, but we would call her Foxy because, you know, she was that red color. But I would walk in the house, she would run to where her snacks were. And she would just like put her paw where the snack under the cabinet, like, and grab at the cabinet. I'll open the cabinet. She would grab her snacks, put it on the floor, and then I would be like, "Here's a bone," or "Here's the little T-bone things." She would eat them. Or we even had her where I would be like, "I'm gonna throw it," and she would sit there and she would just, you know how they're excited and their paws are moving, but I'm like, "Don't you move until I throw it." And she would just stand there. She wouldn't move. I would do the little fake throw. She wouldn't move. I would do the little fake throw again. She wouldn't move. Then I would actually throw the bone down the hall. Not throw the dog. I would throw the bone down the hall, and then she still wouldn't move. And she would see that I threw it, and I'll be like, "You ready?" And she would just be like shaking and stuff. I'll be like, "Go get the bone." And then she'll shoot down the hall, go get the bone, and then she'll bring it back, and then she'll eat it when I told her to. I was like, damn.
You put in that time with that dog.
Yeah.
That dog you taught all that dog the experiences. My dog, I used to take my dog to PetSmart, right? And he would pick out his own toy. You know the toys that were kind of close to the floor? Mm-hmm. He'd come out, he'd pick up the toy, he'd take it all the way to the register, give the cashier the toy, the cashier would scan it, give Sexy the toy back, he would carry it all the way back to the
Exactly. Car. People don't realize that. They just think, this a dog is going to poop all over the place. Yeah. They don't think of like a bond.
That.
Yeah, it's a bond. You can get past that. You could train them not to do that. You can get to the point. Because it is frustrating when you first get them and you're like, they're pooping, they're peeing on stuff. And then once you get past that and you're like, I'm going to teach them. And then they learn to not... Yeah. I remember the first time I came home and I saw my dog was outside and I lived in apartments. I was like, wow, somebody's going to steal it or she's going to go somewhere she's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
One time we put her on the porch and we had her like on a chain. She got off the chain and she was still sitting on the porch. That's like him, she didn't leave the porch.
That's him.
And if she walked around, she would come back on the porch. I was like, "Oh, you're not going anywhere." I was like, "Cool, like we should. You want to run around? Go run around."
Yeah, I would open the door to let him out. He'd go pee and come back inside.
Yeah, you didn't have to be like, "Let me go walk with you."
I take him to the vet and they'd ask when I'm bringing Sexy back.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Yeah. But anyways, I mean, it just caused an issue.
You felt like Timberlake.
Yeah, and eventually I just had to end it. I had to just stop it because it was just becoming so much of a problem. And be like, look, you just can't see him anymore. Until the day, August 18th, RIP Sexy, he passed away from aggressive cancer. And I don't know if you would say man enough, but I was hurt enough to contact her and be like, you want to see him one more time before I have to put him down. And she came.
When that happened, were you in a new relationship?
I was in a new relationship.
Was that a weird conversation?
It was weird as hell. But
like,
I was respect though.
Yeah, it was just
like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't want you to think it's something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want you to think something else. I'm putting him down right now. Do you want to see him one more time?
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was there. My two sisters were there. My mom was there, and my sisters, bless their hearts, they're 16 and 14. I think.
Now.
Now.
Yeah.
And they were throwing mad shade at my ex because they knew how she treated me.
There was a shade party going on.
And
y'all were under the shade tree.
Yeah. And I was like, I was looking at everybody. I was like, yo, this is not the time. Because I'm going through one of the hardest times of my life right now. And I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks right now because I have to put my best friend down.
What you really want from a nigga?
I thought you were really gonna say, "Let's get it started."
Yeah. Oh my
I was trying
god.
to figure out where, I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to figure out where this is going next.
You know how I say, "Tell me what you want."
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite songs.
No. Yeah, the what is it?
What you
What you really want
What
from?
you really want from a nigga? You got two-show the pre-show one another time. Yeah. But yeah, it just became a problem, and you just notice that you really can't do that because it's not really fair to the other individual. So I mean, once that relationship ends, look, you want to see my dog while I'm single? Cool. But once I'm in a relationship, you just gotta have respect for the new woman in my life.
With that being said, sometimes dogs gotta stick together. Sometimes you gotta love your dogs. Sometimes it's not just bros before hoochie mothers. It's bros with the doggies before hoochie mothers. Definitely make sure to get right to the shout outs. Exhaling right into the microphone. You know how we get busy here. You're right here with some guy that you might know.
You know what's the motherfucking...
You know how we cooking this bitch. Definitely make sure to get a shout out to the Black Podcasters United, the Black Podcast Network. Definitely want to make sure to give a shout out to From the Bottom, Defmatic. We Miller Rock on every block. Definitely want to make sure to give a shout out to ScorpionKing. You know we got yourself up. And I just gotta throw you a yoga flame. With that being said, we just gotta keep on moving. I want to shoot a shout out to the Valley Cookie Company, to my mother, to my offspring, Housey Lou, Mr. Exodus. You know how we get it cooking, offspring in the building. Definitely want to give a shout out to bologna sandwiches. Definitely want to give it fried bologna with mayonnaise and cheese. You don't always need mustard. Sometimes mayonnaise and cheese will do. It'll suffice. Something tells me I got the correct answer. Something tells me Rick Ross is like, huh. But with that being the case, we're going to keep on rocking here. If you really want to hit me up, you can hit me at 100% velvet@gmail.com. If you really want to add me on Instagram, VelvetVibez Pimpcast. Oh, one word. Definitely make sure if you want to hit me on Facebook, you can hit me right at the VelvetVibez Pimpcast. Join the group. You'll Miller Rock on all the blocks. You'll have a conversation. You'll argue with me. We'll call each other bitches and hoes. But when we get done, we'll be fine. We're going to pass it right over to Lynneopoly. Maybe she'll have a nicer aspect to give. Know your worth, queen.
I think we need a part 2 to this for sure.
For the queens?
No, for y'all. It needs to continue.
Okay.
I like being...
I feel like it should be a Kings and Queens episode.
The kings and queens of comedy. But go ahead.
Kings and queens of podcast.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about it.
No, because I like being the little...
Fly on the wall?
Yeah, I like being the fly on the wall. So I can just jump in and say, message.
You shot mail.
Yeah.
You ain't shit.
But shout out to Flexi for joining us again.
For sure. 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Sorry.
I'm trying to make it through this while
I stopped it. I stopped it. You see me stop it. I stopped it.
He that's a rare moment for him to contain himself.
I sure did.
Respect.
Also, just want to shout out everybody, all our listeners. We appreciate you. We're grateful, for tuning in every week, every Monday. Also, you can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Lynneopoly, and that's LYNNEOPOLY. And if you want to email me, my email address is the same, Lynneopoly@gmail.com.
Ah, feel some kind of vibe there. Sawildchild, what you got for him?
Well,
This concerns me.
This is another conversation.
Yeah. We may argue for another hour due to this shout out.
Lynneopoly left the building. Y'all, I'm out of here.
Nah, you can't go nowhere. It's an email that needs to be said. Anyway,
I got a flight to catch or something. I don't know.
right, you can catch it right after this email. But, y'all know what it is when we do it, how we do it. Great episode that just came amongst you. If you didn't hear it, then you're going to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, then you're wrong. Call your bluff right now.
Correction.
Yeah. If you're not listening,
you know what I'm saying?
you better listen.
If you ain't listening, then you know where to find us. VelvetVibez Pimcast 1000 on every platform. We love our listeners that are listening. We love the listeners that ain't listening, that they want to listen, but they just ain't heard us yet. We love it all. We live it all. And,
Future listeners.
we deserve and you deserve the respect from each other. So even if you ain't listening, then we deserve your respect. And if you are listening, then we deserve your respect as well. But shout out to the man to my left right now. Lexi, doing your thing.
Hey.
Crossing T's, dotting I's.
See how quick we learn stuff?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? On every platform, he ain't just a singer. He's an actor. So you make sure you show him some love too. Podcast love all around the board. ScorpionKing, you know what I'm saying? Give him a shout out too. Then let's give him a shout out too.
Hey. You don't know.
But at the end of the day, we just want love from any and everybody that's looking to show us love. And if you ain't showing us love, then if you ain't for us, you're against us at the end of the day.
The ops.
Yeah, so don't be against us because we not know nothing that you should be against.
We can throw them hands.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If you don't love us, we still love you.
We will fight a fan or two. We'll kick your ass in the nuts.
I feel like we still ain't reached that fan like I wanted to, that, or whoever she was. Or,
they had an issue with, the other fan that infiltrated our group?
Yeah, I felt like I ain't reached her yet.
Fuck that.
Are you messaging her right now?
Maybe. I might want some cakes.
Oh, we'll talk to you after the set.
You cheeks and geeks.
I don't want to put her in a headlock and whisper some sweet nothings in her ear.
The naked headlock.
I'm about to email Catfish about you.
There's an email that needs to be said, and that's me. That's sawildchild@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram. That's sawildchild210. Facebook, you already know what the group is. VelvetVibez Pimcast. Live every day, any day of the week. So you might want to definitely tune in. If you ain't tuning in, then you stupid.
Oh my God.
JK, LOL, we all about the vibe.
We on that whiskey tonight, so we don't play no motherfucking games tonight.
Or that good alcohol.
Hey, I know some bad user call.
I don't know what else to do without y'all.
I'm a pimpcast to the day I fall.
If you do know some now, bitches, just have an email at sawildchild@gmail.com.
If he's not Mike Jones, so he don't want to put his phone number out there. He does know that back then you didn't want him, but now he's hot. You're all on him.
With cheese.
With cheese. And if you want to supersize, let him know. He'll rip his britches off.
And rip them bitches off.
Last but not least, we're going to bring in the guest of choice. You know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing and give his love out to whoever needs love on.
With his pants on.
And give his resume, wherever he needs to put his resume at. You know what I'm saying?
Drop that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Drop that shit, man.
Throw it to Young Frap.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, he in the building. What's up?
Yo, young macchiato. You know what I'm saying?
Young latte light.
Yeah.
Nah, but really though, this is Alexi. Shout out to the people we love and the people above. People that vibe and the people that ride.
Hey, bars.
Shout out to Spicy Ketchup. Shout out to Obama. Shout out to the city of Chicago. Best city in the world.
Spicy ketchup.
When there's no crime. When there's no crime.
There you go.
Keep your sets to yourself.
Shout out to Big Sexy in the Sky right now. We miss you.
There you go.
If you want to speak to me, want to talk to me on Twitter, it is at I am Velexi, VALEXI. You can chat with me anytime. Give me a follow. If you want to follow me on the gram and see what I look like, it's VALEXI_poetry. Spell poetry correctly. _Harris. And then if you want to find me on Facebook, just type in Velexi Harris and I should be there. If you want to find me and any of my music, check Spotify, check iTunes, check iHeart, check Pandora, check anywhere, and you should be able to find me as long as you spell my name right. I want to thank the VelvetVibez Pimp Cast for having me on the pod once again for the second week in a row. I really appreciate it, for showing me so much love, the music some love, and creative some love locally. I mean, it's just mad love all around, and I love the energy, I love the vibe, and I hope that I can come back and see you guys again and just chat some fucking crazy shit. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, sounds like we just dropped fire here. I'm going to leave you out with the rest of the lovely track we have here. City King, Lowfield 7-4, Gang on the Block. We out this.
Hit your block with the shooter. We disturbing your future like loot. Send a shot to your medulla. Nigga, we leaving you clueless. Get scared up like we on the scooter. You riding the hurt, that's a Uber. We pay the foot just like the movie. Fuck the seatbelt, cause we strap with the tutors. We got that work and we moving. Sipping no syrup when that Sprite be diluted. Popping free tat, now I'm coolin'. Got bitches on Molly, they popping that coochie. They can remember what happened and walking with hangover. Them ain't no rules.
A whole lot of gang shit, a whole lot of gang shit. Nigga throwing up the sign, you know that they bang, bitch. West side certified, you know what I claim. And 7-4 young and Southside representing.
My niggas gangin'. Boy, watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. That nigga came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make it one move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switching lanes in the drop. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. My niggas gangin'. Boy, watch where you hangin'. Man, you ain't never ever hung around. That nigga came up, so I swung down. And you know the gang on the block. Make it one move, we gon' aim at your top. Ride with your man, switching lanes in the drop. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot. Nigga like a star when I came in the spot.